News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Neha Bhardwaj and this is Game On. We'd been waiting for the pink ball test match to begin in Adelaide, and finally on day one, what a day we had. Yes, Australia's bid to level the series with India has begun well in Adelaide, where the hosts ended the opening day of this day-night test match on 86 for 1, trailing their opponents by 94 runs. India were bowled out for 180 on the stroke of the dinner break, and during the last session under the lights at Adelaide Oval, Australia lost only the wicket of Usman Khawaja to take the day's honours. The first two sessions of this test had shades of that Perth match, with India bowled out in 2 sessions while losing all 10 wickets to pace. The star for Australia was Mitchell Starc with 6 wickets, and each time his captain Pat Cummins needed Starc, the left-arm pacer delivered. Starc trapped Yashasvi Jaiswal LBW off the first ball of the test match, and then found the edges of KL Rahul and Virat Kohli's bats as India lost 3 wickets in the lead-up to the first break in play. During the second session, Starc nipped out 2 lower-order wickets to claim his 15th 5-wicket haul in test matches, and went on to end the Indian innings with the wicket of Nitish Reddy, thus giving the Australian career best figures of 6 for 48. Reddy in his second test was the highest scorer for India after a series of failed efforts from his senior teammates. KL Rahul, who was given 2 lives in Scott Boland's first over, appeared intent to play the anchor role, but was caught surprised by one that sat up from Mitchell Starc, having faced 64 balls for his 37 runs. Shubman Gill returned at number 3 and looked the most pleasing of all the batsmen as he drove the ball with confidence, but just before the tea break, he fell over a full and a swinging delivery from Boland, and he was ruled LBW for 31. Kohli made just 7 runs, and Rohit Sharma, back in the 11, batting in the middle order, could only manage 3 runs. Rishabh Pant got as far as 21 before he became Cummins' first wicket, and as Starc made further inroads, it was left to Reddy to get some quick runs, and the 22-year-old did that in enterprising manner as he hit 3 4s and 3 6s in his 42 of 54 balls. India's innings, as in Perth, ended just at the end of the second session, with the difference being a total of 180 as compared to 150 back then. Unlike that last session in Perth, though, India did not find anywhere near the level of success with the ball. Bumrah managed the first wicket of the innings during his 7th over, getting Khawaja to nick to the slip cordon, but that was as good as it got for the visitors. Nathan McSweeney, he made 38 of 97 balls, and Marnus Labuschagne was 20 of 67 as Australia ended the day on 86 for 1. Bumrah, he was the best of the Indian bowlers with a figure of 1 for 13 from 11 overs, but overall there was a lack of intensity with the pink ball under the lights. The second wicket pair of McSweeney and Labuschagne were dogged in their approach and made to work for their runs, and their patience has so far paid off. In their last outing at the same venue, India were bundled out for just 36 runs in their second innings of that 2020 Test Series opener down under, with pacers Josh Hazlewood and Pat Cummins claiming 5 and 4 wickets respectively. But there was no Josh Hazlewood in this match. He was out injured. Scott Boland had come in place of Josh Hazlewood, but the man who made the difference was Mitchell Starc. He showed how much he loves bowling with the pink ball as he rattled India on day 1 in Adelaide. Starc ran through India's batting order, picking up his 15th 5-wicket haul in Test cricket, and he also became the first bowler ever to take 4 5-wicket hauls with the pink ball. No other bowler has managed more than 2 such hauls in this format, making Starc's record even more impressive. The left-arm fast bowler got the big wickets of Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul and Virat Kohli to finish what was a brilliant day for Australia. Mitchell Starc's performance in day-night test with the pink ball extends beyond individual hauls. He now has taken 72 wickets in day-night test, making him the highest wicket taker in pink ball history. Here's a look at the bowlers with the most wickets in day-night test matches. Mitchell Starc, of course, he leads the charts with 72 wickets. There's Nathan Lyon, who has got 43 wickets. Josh Hazlewood is third on that list with 37 wickets. Pat Cummins, skipper Pat Cummins, he's got 35 wickets, and James Anderson has got 24 wickets. So Aussie is dominating that list. Mitchell Starc also equaled former West Indies pacer Pedro Collins for most wickets on the first ball of a test match when the Australian pacer got the better of India opener Yashasvi Jaiswal, who was trapped LBW on the first ball by Starc. Earlier this year, Starc became only the fifth Australian bowler to achieve 350 wickets in Test cricket. Having played 91 games, he has picked a total of 367 wickets at an average of 27.53. What a day it turned out for Mitchell Starc. And I think Yashasvi Jaiswal, who had sledged him in that Perth Test match, calling him too slow, saying that he was bowling too slow, he got his revenge back by dismissing Yashasvi Jaiswal on day one with the first ball of the Test match. Moving on to the World Chess Championship. Stalemate continued in the World Chess Championship as the ninth game between Indian challenger D. Gukesh and defending champion Ding Liren of China ended in yet another draw to remain level on points on Thursday. The sixth consecutive draw and seventh of the match left both players on an identical tally of 4.5 points each, still shy of 3 points in order to win the championship. The two players signed peace after 54 moves. Today is a rest day. They will resume the battle on Saturday. Just 5 more classical games are left to be played in the $2.5 million prize money championship. And if a tied result happens after 14 rounds, there will be games under faster time control to determine the winner. The 32-year-old Ding Liren, he had won the opening game, while the 18-year-old Gukesh had emerged victorious in the third game. The second, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth and ninth games, they all have ended in draws. Gukesh said he would like to improve his performance in critical moments. He said, "It is still the same approach. We just have to try to play good chess. In the last few games, I have managed to play very good chess, and for me, the main thing will be to go there with the same energy, play the same level of chess, and slightly improve on some critical moments. Just hope to continue playing good games, and hopefully at some point when I do the right things, I believe that the results will come." Nowadays, there is not much difference between white and black because of the computers. All the lines that were considered dubious, the computers make them work. Now, it's an equal game with both colors, so I wouldn't say it's a huge advantage. In the remaining 5 games, Liren will have white thrice, but Gukesh, like I said, says that there isn't much difference between the black or white pieces. With that, we're going to slip into a short break. When we come back, lots more news from the world of sports, so stay with us.
Thank you, Barun Das. I think the entire TV9 team for putting together such a great, fantastic show.
I would like to congratulate TV9 for organizing the first ever News9 Global Summit, and I'm sure it will be a great success.
It's indeed an immense pleasure and honor for me to be present here in this News9 Global Summit.
Hello. If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if cyber crime takes place with you,
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
and you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ।
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ।
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से। ओह माय गॉड, मैडम यू आर ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द नरेश गोयल मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग केस।
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Welcome back. A dispute between the boxing and the Olympic World Governing Body can lead to the sport's elimination from the LA Games in 2028. The International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach has warned that the national boxing federations will have to decide if their athletes will be at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics under a new global body, or if the sport will miss out. The boxing competition at the Paris 2024 Olympics was run by the IOC after it stripped the International Boxing Association of recognition last year over its failure to implement reforms on governance and finance. The IOC has not included the sport in the 2028 program yet and has urged national boxing federations to create a new global boxing body or risk missing out on the Olympics in 4 years' time. A new organization called World Boxing was launched in 2023 and has 55 members across 5 continents. It is the only body that would potentially be able to replace the IBA as the sport's global organization. The IOC has said a decision will be taken next year. The IOC had suspended the IBA in 2019 over governance, finance, refereeing and ethical issues and did not involve it in running the boxing events at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics before stripping it of recognition in 2023, an extremely rare move by the IOC. The IOC and IBA had also been at loggerheads for days during the Paris Olympics over the participation of 2 female boxers, Algeria's Imane Khalif and Taiwanese Li Yuting. The IBA had banned the fighters midway through last year's World Championships following a chromosome test citing gender ineligibility. But the IOC allowed them both to compete and both won gold medals in their weight classes.
This is in the hands of the national boxing federations, whether they want their athletes to give an opportunity to win Olympic medals or not. It's very easy, and there we see there are some moves with a number of federations. We are watching this, and when time comes, then we have to make, like for any recognition or provisional recognition of any international federation, we have to make an assessment whether there is a federation, and in this moment it looks like that the only who could it be is World Boxing. Whether they are meeting the criteria which we have for such situations, and there to be also very clear, it cannot be IBA. This story is over. For all the reasons, the governance, ethical reasons, you know.
On to Formula One, and Lewis Hamilton will bring down the curtains on his Mercedes career in Abu Dhabi on Sunday as his past and future Formula One teams McLaren And Ferrari fight for a constructors' title to end years of waiting. Lewis Hamilton has admitted he massively underestimated how hard his long goodbye to Mercedes would be ahead of an emotional final race for the team this weekend. The 39-year-old, 7 times world champion, stunned Formula One in February when he announced he was leaving Mercedes, who've supported him since his days in go-karting for Ferrari at the end of the year. Mercedes has had time to adjust with the 18-year-old Italian Kimi Antonelli. He signed as Hamilton's replacement, but Hamilton told reporters that it had not been easy. The winner of a record 105 races in 2 this season, including a home one at Silverstone, has struggled with his car's handling. Questions have been asked about his speed as he approaches 40 with more than 350 races under his belt. Hamilton said in Qatar last weekend he still got it, but his frustration, particularly in qualifying where teammate George Russell leads him 18-5, has been evident. In Brazil, he even hinted he might not complete the season. Hamilton won 6 of his 7 titles with Mercedes and could have had an 8th at Yas Marina in 2021, but for a controversial late change to the safety car procedure while he was leading. He started 246 races with the team. His achievements as the only black driver on the starting grid also include transforming Mercedes and by extension the sport into a more racially diverse and welcoming environment. Ferrari, the team that took Michael Schumacher to 5 of his 7 titles, will be his 3rd team since his 2007 debut with McLaren. Lionel Messi and Inter Miami now know their path for next year's Club World Cup. Yes, the host team, invited by FIFA to compete despite criticism from many in the football world, will play the tournament's first match on June 15th against Egyptian club Al Ahly as part of a group that will also feature Palmeiras and Porto. The other opening matches include Paris Saint-Germain versus Atletico Madrid and Brazilian club Botafogo playing at Major League Soccer's Seattle. First 3 opponents in this newly expanded event. The tournament will be held in the USA from June 15th to July 13th. Cup final. Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund and Inter Milan. There's also the 4th representative of the host nation gets the distinction of playing the first match. It'll happen at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens in Florida. Some would argue it's not the one of the best clubs, but Inter Miami's selection was widely panned by critics. The volume of that only rising after the team that won the Supporters' Shield as the best MLS team in the regular season with a record-setting point total lost in round 1 of the MLS Cup playoffs. Inter Miami will have, they've already been placed in Group A with Palmeiras, Porto and Al Ahly. Group B consists of Paris Saint-Germain, Atletico Madrid, Botafogo and Seattle. Group C has Bayern Munich, Auckland City, Boca Juniors and Benfica. Group D has Flamengo, AS Tunis, Chelsea and Lyon. Inter Milan are clubbed with River Plate, Urawa and Monterrey in Group E. Group F will consist of Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund, Ulsan and Mamelodi Sundowns. Group G will have Premier League giants Manchester City along with Wydad, Al Ain and Juventus. Group H with Real Madrid, Al Hilal, Pachuca and Salzburg. They complete the 32-club lineup. So those are the lineups for these groups for the Club World Cup. Now there is of course criticism about the timing of this and whether this adds to what is already an exhaustive calendar for these players in international clubs. There is also the club versus the United States.
Beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
FIFA President Gianni Infantino, he hailed this new look 2032 team Club World Cup as a new era for club football. The tournament, to be held in 11 cities and 12 stadiums across the USA, will also serve as a full dress rehearsal for organizing the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which will be jointly hosted by the USA, Mexico and Canada.
the FIFA Club World Cup, which starts a new era in club football. It's about inclusivity, it's about bringing clubs from all over the world, the 32 best clubs and best players from all over the world, together in the United States from 15th of June to 13th of July 2025 to determine which one is truly the best in the world. And of course, to do this, we'll have 11 beautiful cities here in the United States of America, 12 fantastic stadiums, great teams, great fans, 2, 3, 4 million fans will be coming to the US.
And Miami welcomed the elites of club football for this FIFA World Cup draw. Premier League champions Manchester City were drawn in Group G for next year's expanded 32-team tournament in the United States, along with Juventus, Wydad AC and Al Ain. The tournament, like Mr. Infantino was saying, will feature top teams from around the world, will be held in 12 stadiums around the country from 15th of June to July 13th. It will serve as a dress rehearsal for the 2026 World Cup, co-hosted by the US, Mexico and Canada. Manchester City won the most recent Club World Cup in 2023 under the old format and sit fourth in the Premier League after being hit hard by injuries to key players such as Rodri, who won the Ballon d'Or, who won this year with an unprecedented fourth straight English Premier League title. So Manchester City will face Wydad AC in their opening match and Al Ain before closing out the group stage against Juventus. Well, that's it then in this edition of The Game On. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Bollywood is Indian mainstream. That narrative needs to change.
More local is more global.
Korean drama phenomenon followed by Korean pop is amazing.
Today is all about who's making the best content.